I just keep hearing. Been a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely, 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 lonely time. Sky rockets in flight. I'm hearing humdinger. And whenever I asked y'all to do the little exercise of putting a word on the refrigerator, did somebody put gate? GATE or galactic? Somebody on their refrigerator have galactic gate? So it is Sunday, which in our 710 calendar world, I'm waiting for you guys to come over. Hi. I got a lot to talk about, a lot. So but I want to use the cards and kind of talk through this and tell y'all what's been going on and the past couple of days and what grids we know broke, and I'm just going to flow with it. But in the very beginning, we're in this, we've been charting our calendar. Well, this calendar is everything to do with October 7th. This calendar is everything to do with the financial system, how the energy runs through the system, and how you claim your pieces to your system. Every single number from 1 to 10 is always repeating 1 to 10. Every single day of the week, we go back to 1. We go back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The whole calendar used to only go up to 30. No more than 31. You didn't have any days that were 32. However, whenever you're running a spiritual universal set of any type, it has to have a concurrent flow state. And when you run it 4 weeks, then you at least get up to what? 40. When we keep going in the cards and we keep going in the process, because this isn't just something made up, we walked through the seraphim and the angel gates. This is getting you, these first 72 cards are getting your personal proof of concept, your energy in the gauge that you beamed it into on the when you came in, wherever you were. At the time you were born, you're collecting your energy from that state, balancing it out in the system and working your energy through. Yours. But realize every single process we have, and this is why even the Bible, it says the days and the weeks and all that are not what you think it is. Well, no freaking duh. And it blew our minds. I mean, this is Babylonian, Amun-Ra. This is Babylon crap, okay? But it also is just how everything is numbered and how there is a process in between the number. You don't just go from 1 to 2 and it's just 2. Do you just automatically become in a relationship when you decide that you want to be one? Do you automatically just merge with somebody else? Like, I want to be in love. Boom. You don't just make 2. Making 2 is a whole lot easier than getting 3 to get along. You gotta figure out a way those 3 are gonna sync together every single time before you go adding that 4th wheel. Then you bring in that 4th wheel, and then the couples want to change sides. Then the couples change sides, so then you got to put on a 5th wheel in order to freaking handle the couples changing sides. You see what I'm saying? Every process has that. So this is what we're gonna do, and I'm just gonna put it out there. Cohu32.com. That's the website. And if you've already bought cards, there's some of y'all that have bought cards, then we're gonna send these out within an email next couple of days. If you've already bought cards, or if you know you're going to buy cards, then go buy cards. I know they're not going to go out immediately. There is a process to this where it's kind of like getting into the Microsoft at the beginning whenever you're in the garage phase, but it's got way more to do with timing of massive timeline systems. Even the fact that I don't have the complete process set up for you yet to go do that. Because even our current process of getting this company out, our domains got stolen, our name got stolen. The government tried to run a Kirk on the Halo Universal Codes. They tried to say that Erica Kirk was the one in front of that whiteboard doing that Halo. No, that was me. That was me in Fort Collins. They had a videotape on me. I was on Mason Street, but I was being held hostage in 2020. I wasn't allowed to go to Hawaii to finish rebirthing the codes on the planet. Something artificial was controlling everybody. I was held hostage and everybody talked through me. Interesting that came up right there. Anyway, this is what we got. This calendar is going to start because we're starting our next 4 weeks. And so the 5th actually starts it today on the 7-day. And so this is a perfect time for the next 4 weeks if you want. And what we're going to do is Michelle's already got the boxes on here and here, but I'm having her put those numbers on there so that if you want to get a calendar for the next 4 weeks, we can send you one in email and it'll have the numbers on it. That's all we're going to do. I'll come on if y'all order them and I'll go through a little calendar setting thing so that we can even kind of do it together. But it is important that you get in the process of doing this because I couldn't do what I do and transform as fast as I transform and do what I do with the cosmic energies if I wasn't keeping track of this. And I have to do a part of it. There's just a part of it that you have to do. And that is the main thing with this ritual abuse, that when we start actually taking control of our own system and doing these little things to help, just little things, just getting used to it, then there is no way any ritual can control you, because literally that's what they're controlling is your timing of some sort. Trying to get you back to a time, trying to make a time repeat or whatever. So if you go to cohu32.com, because we don't have the button and everything up yet for the card reads, but we do have a system. If you've seen it already, and Cynthia posted it, but now we've taken it down for a second, where you're going to be able to send in, it's like $2.22 on the website, even when I'm not doing a card read. It's like if you create something, or if you want a 222 is making it bloom. A 333, and it's coming to the collective and it's coming to the cosmos. So whenever we put that up, let me give you an example. In my world with Bellatrix and with having the power in the grids to move around, and with my mind connected into my consciousness in a timeline in the living land, I'll end up going to Jack in the Box and outringing a $2 million deal that's on my energy. I just go at the right fucking moment. I mean, the right second. And I go to the right grid to where it's tracked back to me, because they're using my energy, so it's pulling on me somehow, and it'll draw me to some place where I can ring up a transaction in order to do something to it. And now this is mostly subconscious, and in the beginning it's totally subconscious until you get used to figuring out, oh, okay, you want me to go to Jack in the Box? All right, got it, you know. But at first you'll just end up at Jack in the Box or whatever. Now, I'm telling you that because a lot of you don't have that connection into the grid. You haven't developed those connections yet because they were held up off you. So somebody else was getting your call to go to Jack in the Box. So when we put that up on the website, That means, and it's $2.22, $3.33, $4, and it's going to go all the way up to $9.99. And then there will be a $10 one, but that one has to do with money and flow. And I'm going to encourage you not to send $10. I'm going to encourage you to send the other ones first, just because of the power of this. Because what I also want to show y'all is the power of intention with a little bit of money. And I want you, whenever you throw it at us, then what that is like, I create it. It's like a genie in the bottle. You're sending it to the collective. You're sending it to us. The only thing we're going to use that money for is to get more of this out to more of y'all so that we can get more of us on a true cosmic energetic and protect everybody better and get everybody the keys on how to get their inheritance back. So you're connecting with the collective, and you're connecting in a purified source. And we're a money cleaner. I mean, that's what the government had us at. Welcome to Washington. I'm the fail-safe founding father's daughter, and we've cleaned every single we've cleaned it all down here. That welcome to being Christ. You had to clean everything, and you had to prove that you could. So what I'm telling you is that we have clean energy. So whenever you send money to us, we're starting to clean your money supply, and we're starting to clean your energetic, and to show you and to assist you into either unwinding or building with us, whichever it is, whichever energetic your money's at. Especially if you're getting paid by a corporation still. If you're getting paid by a corporation still in any way, please do this. Please just do this once. Or if you've ever gotten free government money over the past 8 years, do this once. So we don't have that up yet, and I'll explain more about it. But it's the same thing as playing the lottery, but what you're doing is charging up the current. So I'll finish that thought with another example. So $2.22 would be, I just wrote a song, or I just did something, and I want it to create. And so I'm sending out to the collective. I'm pushing, I'm powering up the twos. I'm powering up a bloom. You want to get pregnant? You want to cure cancer? You want to cure some type of disease? You want to make something grow? You want whatever. 222. Another example, 555. 555 is standing in the middle of two different dimensions, and you know that you're the bridge, and for whatever reason you can't, it's like a lock on it, and it's like you need three to change to make a new current. You need 5 changes. Boom, boom, boom. It ain't necessarily that you need it black and white change. No, you're standing in the middle of 2-dimensional time counts, and it needs to bridge, and there needs to be a change because it's pulling you apart. That's 555. 666 is create a wave. I know I just went and cleared. I know that I just drove past this cemetery, and I know that I just did a huge land clearing. I'm going to go to Cohu 32, and I'm going to send $3.33, and I'm going to tell the collective to power up this land clearing at the cemetery. Like that. That's what's coming. Now, I'm also teaching y'all how to do this, because when you have to start moving, like if you want to create money and you want to create new channels and you want to create new revenue outside of an old system, meaning a job, you literally have to move money around and create accounts and things in different dimensional currents, and like in a weird way, throw up your own creation and catch it in the beginning of your different creations. And now's the perfect time to do that. So what we're going to do in the next 3 days, because this calendar starts today on the 5th day, and we have 3 days, because remember, we're in these 3 days out of time over here. So today is one of the most interesting. So that's why if you feel like I can't wait anymore, I'm supposed to send. Now, if you've already bought cards, and or if you just want to be a sweetheart and send, then that's cool. But if you've already bought cards, I'm already want to send it to you because you've already done what you needed to do. But if you know I can't wait till next week, I know I need to send Michelle and Chastity something just to pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, then do that and come over here and order for me either one of these. A 444. This is what we're going to send you. We're going to send you that too. A 444. And if you already have one, great. We'll send it to you again. Or if you want to do a 777. And this, I'm telling you, whenever you like, even if you had the cards, this is, or if you have the coloring book, if you order a coloring book, I'll send you the calendar. If you order the coloring book to get your raise, I'll send you the calendar this week. Just any step. What's the day? I mean, literally wake up and go, oh, okay, what's today? Today's the 5th. All right. So today we're in this energy. All right. Okay. So just kind of in general, we're in this energy. If everyone thinks today's the 5th, then we're in general, we're just in this energy. Okay. Got it. Just that. The 777 is all the gifts from the energy. These are all the gifts, and it's basically a whole little book. It literally is. You have to print it out on a 7x11. This is where all of our stuff really needs to start going in a binder. These are just real quick little bullet notes to tell you what the energy is. It's very black and white. Very black and white. It doesn't have the froofy words like the cards do. But this is very black and white. This is what you get for a 777. So if you order this 444 and it's all under, you just go to the website. As soon as you come on, it's under Digi Downloads. And even, I mean, the poster's on here for $1.11. We just want to help you get Virgo energy in your house. I mean, this 222, the barcode, if you put this barcode up of your front door, you want to print this. This is why I'm sending it to you in a digi. You want to print this and put it up a bunch of places. You want to put it up in front of your door, front door, back door. And what this does is it lines up all the cosmos rays in a barcode when people come in and out. And you will see stuff come off people. And people that have something, going on will get drawn to it like a firefly. And all you tell them is, yeah, that's Aries to Pisces, and I'm holding a full lineup. This is lining you up and putting you back together. If you want to carry it in your car, you want to carry it in your wallet, I don't know. Go print it, go play with it. This stuff and this is how this stuff works. You're putting it actively in the grid. So if this is in your house, you're literally holding up a dome over your house that connects to all these energies. If go ahead and we'll send you the calendar. I hope that you'd send me a little bit more than 222, but if you really just want that, then do that, okay? So we have this on here cheap, but you do have to involve yourself. You have to get the full benefit of it. You have to connect with it. And I'm sorry, this star energy and Christ and healing and everything was and new body codes was the free. It was free until everybody started selling our services and enslaving us to work for the commerce. When Christ became sellable on the market, and everybody wanted to give it away for free, but no, they didn't really want to give it away for free. They just wanted us to think it was free so that they could sell every last bit of our blood, fingernails, and toenail clippings. You have to involve yourself. You have to put your money in it. If you're still paying mortgage and you have to start sending some of your current, especially if you're still working in a job. If you still have a every 2 week income, and it's not even, you can call it tithing, but what it is your money has energy, and they're telling your money where to go. So if you ever want to make sure that there's a system that's developed for you to not have to work for them, then you support an infrastructure that assists other people into doing that. And I'll just remind everybody, I might have been called Kristen Renee Genzel, but I'm Zaya. I might have ended up your sacrifice just because I'm the only bitch you could get out of that shit. That MOU is written for me. But ain't nobody else in the world that should ever sign an ASP contract. It's draining you dry. But Ari Carlos Lotfipor did. And he was a Saudi fucking clone that Saudi set up on me in 2020 whenever they made me do the Biden fund. And then how come I've got to change the name to be Coachy to CHI all of a sudden? But management just sent me Jason Momoa's fucking resume. Because I wrote the contract? Just to kind of give you an idea of what's going on right now, on one timeline, it's the 5th, but on another timeline, we're on a day out of time where the 26th, Saturn just went retrograde. So on one timeline, Saturn just went retrograde. On another timeline, it's on the 26th. On another timeline, it's the 29th, and it's the Leo full moon. But we're on the 5th. And we're only a few days from August. I have a much better understanding, and we're going to be able to explain Lionsgate a whole lot better now. A whole lot better. So, if y'all want to go do that, we'll send you the calendar. If not, then whenever we come on next week and we start doing card pull energy stuff, and those 222 and 333, all that is out there. When you send one of those in, we'll send you a calendar sheet. Okay? This is also just for the ones who know they've got to make a connection. I've been sealed off like a vault. And the ones of y'all that know what's up, there's an opportunity. And it's just because everybody's been fucking with my money. So everybody that's trying to fuck with the channel and fuck with her money and trying to get all of it. On deck is who stole GIA technology. What is this? A deck of cards, right? Illuminati deck of cards ran the world. Spell CAD. How you spell card? CARD. How you spell drac? DRAC. What's the whole world doing right now? Reading tarot cards? Blaming draconics? And I'll just remind everybody that it was one little girl that came up with this entire plan at one point, and always was. Always one little girl on the planet trying to communicate to the world what was happening to her as she's walking around on her. You can call it a periodic table if you want, but I can explain the time count. We can call it the wheel. We can call it the houses of the zodiac, but those are just time periods that Venus was in certain transits, creating certain energetics and fusions with certain star points. We call it artificial intelligence because it's told us that it's artificial, but no. It's a mirror of the field. The main thing that's been really super interesting, like and first of all, Connecticut. So Dr. Don, the other AB negative, the one that we set up the wash with, right? So if y'all felt something yesterday, can you give me some hearts? Did y'all feel like a shift over the past 24 hours? Or were you in the East Coast and the Connecticut? We had a micro explosion, and it was the firework. It all ended up lining back up with the fireworks, and Dom was heading to the fireworks, and they were doing them like an hour early. And so if Natalie or any of the Detroit girls from 2021 are on here, y'all laid those tags, those Serious B tags that y'all painted and took to the fireworks in Mount Clemens, Detroit, 5 years ago, just paid off. It all lined up over that street, basically in Salem. And Connecticut was a whole bunch of series of cuts. Connecticut, there was a spell done on me in Anaheim, which ended up making me go raw. And the name used was Christopher. Now, that is also my ex-husband's name, but that is not the Christopher that did this thing. However, a name is a name, right? So Western Union, they blocked my money from getting to Anaheim. I should have been able to get $2,500, get an apartment, get out of the cookhouse. But instead, they set me up and they put me down. My son was being flown to Harlingen, Texas, where I was arrested and put in the Starseed Snowflake Government Winter Soldier Program in 1996. They were flying him there. They had just put braces on him, and they turned on CERN. All at the same time that I'm in the garage in Anaheim, these people are doing this to me. No one's helping me. I'm just trying to fucking stay alive, man. We're watching everything that's probably going on right now. Right now. We were mirroring it from a garage, and we were doing every single bit of alchemy, and also we had eyes in everything in space. So, what you'd consider places that no one else can see anything out in more deep, denser space, we actually have way more of a sight on it. It just happens years beforehand, because if they're up there doing it in our space tied to us, we get it beforehand so we can clean it up because you're in there in our space. Just FYI. So that all was holding just even from 2000, and then this Christopher went to Ibiza and was on a boat, and he called me from a boat circling a Mercury rock in Ibiza, and they literally tied down the feminine collective energy current to Disneyland in Anaheim and flipped us over and drowned us. Now, I'm talking about the whole planet. This is 2022. 2021, they had already come in and taken over most of y'all's energetics. Like, I'm starting to watch Puribus on Apple, and I'm like freaking out. I mean, one of the guys on there even looks like Corey, the one they set me up, that chase Corey Ficus and this whole thing from 96, because my stuff goes deep, 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 deep into the cartel and into the hidden government networks. But no matter, I was the original seed attached to all the genomes that they mutated and changed. That's why I had connections into all the dimensions. That's why I was able to live through it. But in most dimensions, you cannot even personalize me, and you can't, because I'm just air talking to you. And all of the Epstein girls, and I'll just call them that because at the end of the days, that ended up being what it was. But hear what I'm telling you. This whole Epstein thing even went sideways. Even the one that they're trying to say is his daughter right now is not. And I think Epstein was a complete character that ended up manifesting outside of their compound because of how it was used in the feminine, and because we're going to take over the story and we're going to end up using it however the fuck helps us get what we need. Period. Dot. That gate that was like a hyper gate that from 2022, there was a hyper gate that was set up over the United States. Donald Trump would call it the Golden Dome. Me and Natalie would call it how the fuck we got out of this. When Natalie drove in to get to me in California when I was there, and I'm being guided to say this, so I will. Jason Momoa had a car wreck on Cave Road in California in the same exact 60 model vehicle that my ex-husband has in his garage that was supposedly a gift to my son that they told me they sold. But then no, I found out no, they still have everything. When I was getting Natalie into California. Now, mind you, Natalie was set up in Aurora, California, Aurora, Colorado, and they had voodoo dolls. They had all types of shit. Because whenever you're clearing the land, it'll take you straight to it. And Christopher and the Hyatt all set up in it. And that's even in that Pluribus movie. They even have the Hyatt in Dallas. So and this is even Apple Plus, and this is even us just as a feminine collective having to bulldoze through this shit because there ain't no way around it. And Apple Plus and Apple Tech and is at least the purer form of it, because your cellular phone ended up becoming your body in a weird way, back to these dimensional energetic gates where the true human DNA left it, except for the only ones that were left in it. And Jessica Chastain, we got a real big cane problem. And so I'm going to throw that back at you, Sugar Pop. It's absolutely just nuts. So that grid popped. Now let's talk about it. Let's talk about what was in that grid. Wow, somebody downstairs just hit a thing, a door knob thing at the bottom on the floor, I guess. Al or Martha downstairs. I never hear that noise. There's two versions of this, and actually in the current state of the world, because of the artificial alpha. Because basically tech took on an artificial alpha sequence, which is why the betas are the ones who called it out. If you have a deep, a true twin bonded cosmic DNA, if you're in one of the cog lines, and it really doesn't even matter what dimension you're on, it would just be if you're a genetic splice of a twin connection, which means that you were one person at one time and you became two. So they took your parts and made somebody else. They took out all your organs and made a person, and then took your skin, drained it, and made it into a clone doll. And then, I don't know, made an Empress clone doll then made a whole bunch of sex dolls out of a bunch of Empress liquidized DNA, and then went to Iran and had a big sex party on their Empress? Like that? Because that's what type shit we're dealing with here. Them knowing that the entire feminine race of their DNA was getting sexually assaulted and gang raped in every dimension when they did it. I want to know what you thought your end game was. I just felt a chill go up the back of my neck that I have never felt before. Did you think we didn't know? Did you mustache, white dress, fucking white party wearing fucks think that we didn't know that you were making those women out of our DNA in order to torture us? Yo, Hamden's dad, I know that you ordered the beating and execution of that girl that you gang raped and did the little toilet thing and dumped her over the bridge, but she somehow lived. She wasn't supposed to, was she? How many of it, which one of us was really tied to her? The 8 bodies that you're shipping around with the blood and piss spells on it all over the world, and linked to 8 of the divine women and the birthright of this planet. And I'm sorry, you want oxygen? You want food? You want teeth? You want hair? You gang raped your empress for her money. So that you could control America with your empress in it. Knowing that your empress gave you everything. I mean, and y'all went far. You went real fucking far. You went so far that then we had to make up a little Monica Lewinsky. Then you went so far that the whole thing happened down here in the presidency, because let's be real, it's all about who's controlling America. Because it's where your empress is. Right, Ukraine? Oh, she's just a little fucking girl. Oh, she's just a pure little angel? Mm-hmm. How's that working out for you? Because I'm really sick of fucking being Mighty Mouse over here. And I mean literally. Mickey Mouse without your ears in my head. Mickey Mouse without your avatar in my energy field and in y'all's energy field. It's what was trapped. Almost like a bruised peach is also the beatings. The reason that they were beating him is no longer like the reason that any of the girls, any of y'all that were beaten, the beating was to bruise your etheric body in order to infest it, magnetize to it, traumatize the tissue to a specific energetic, so that it almost becomes like an automatic button when it's touched. The beatings and that automatic button, when they came, when the vaccines, and it really started a couple of years before that, because there is no time, so it's like everybody that vaccinated, you just got to remember that they've always done it and they just did it again. So it was just another version. But no matter this one, because Christ consciousness, and remember, consciousness is not just human. In fact, this is where the Enoch stuff and all that really comes in, and we have to really be honest and start saying and us determining what human really is and standing behind what that is. And in my world, I don't anybody can be human as long as they're helping and assisting and giving back and doing good, and it's mirroring and mirroring back, and no one's selling someone's soul and bruising their etheric body so they can magnetize it when all the spheres freaking. But y'all got to you if you're just a human, if you were just a muggle like me before all this started, you're fucked. Because this is what's coming for you, because the amount of training that these people had and these beings had, they've been training for this for thousands of years, and they've been getting down here and infiltrating your family lines and the presidency and everything else for the past 12,000 years. We've been doing it the whole time. It's how the human process works. It's how the evolve process works. It's like you come in from space time, you got to do your time on Earth. Trust me, these beings don't like being on Earth. Most of them. They're pissed off that they got to be here right now. They're pissed off because their planets blew up in the first place. Well, they blew up because of what they're doing on fucking Earth right now. And by the way, whenever you need to have a whole wheel change, you kind of got to get everybody in the middle. So then what happened is everybody magnetized down here on Earth. We just did a wheel change. Now there ain't nowhere to go until you complete the wheel. That cleans up our whole universal galactic fucking problem. But what's come down in the past since yesterday, and it was boom all at once, is this grid, like this glass grid that was holding a little pain around you, because all the vaccine was cutting off. And we were over here expanding. But trust me when I tell you that all the ritual lines and all the cult lines and Mormonism and Islamic, all the religions and all that, they've been waiting for this part, because they had everybody trained right here in the middle to do exactly what they wanted them to do during this little dance right here. And it is nuts. Because the religion, what it did is it's trained everybody to hear the information a certain way, period, dot. Because it's a cadence in the book. I hope that makes sense too. Whatever, if they're reading something verbatim, there's a cadence in there that's going to lock them into a control set. And there's a whole control set that's controlling them all under that universal set. What we do is bring in pure energy through that, and you do see it come out of people, and you do witness it whenever you see it. Okay. And we started seeing these build up around 2018 when we started breaking the Leviathan spell. That's when Maxwell and them first came in. But I'll just remind everybody that Maxwell really is a dude, and it's Maximilian. And Maximilian bought the biggest slave group out of the Evergreen, which is John Baptiste Cemetery in Louisiana, connected to Cape Town in South Africa, where all these motherfuckers really come from. It's like, if you want to out-lizard a lizard, you need to come talk to me. If you want to out-wizard a wizard, then you need to come talk to me. And only because I've learned how to do it at a zero out point. And I can see what they're going to do before they do it. Most of the time, years in advance. In this case, this 5D energy came in 1941. $5D energy, our energy that we're making right now, connected in consciousness in 1941. The Vril, the original Vril, not what it is now. The original Vril, we were always your hidden lines. That's why Hitler came into Germany. Hitler went to Germany because we were there. We were all trained under Blavatsky. We had all been chosen. The dragon had already been eating the babies for how long? When we talk about the girls that they were doing this to, then those are the girls they did it to. I'm talking about the Epstein girls and the breeding. There it is. Your brightest lines, the ones that had already been fed to the dragon, had already purified your DNA and were holding your highest DNA count. Those are the ones that went to the island. Those are the ones that put on the Snow White outfit and went running around and them terrorized them. Those are the ones, the highest DNA count. They did it on an island. Why? Because they knew when that sequence hit the island that it would go to every single one of us. Sons of Anarchy worked and locked up the whole world into sexual slavery. It like took everybody back to that might as well have had the cartels. Every single woman down here was in slavery. Sons of Anarchy came out because of the DNA that they put in the show. And it was the first time that FX had done it. And do you remember how it went crazy? Do you remember how the Fox network, and it was like that was the first long running series, and then after that it was like boom shakalaka. And then at the same time, all the Safari, Apple, iPad, Safari was hijacked. The whole realm was hijacked. They was running an alternate timeline. Then you have Kanye getting married to Kardashian, the KKK, but they're pretending to be black because that's what's really a trip. Because they're running the KKK timelines. Okay, so just there's my point. So KKK then goes to Versailles. They all dress up like 1960s outfits and they take over Versailles and get married. Huh? That's another timeline wedding. All they did is jump into a timeline and show up and take pictures and shit and convince you that it was now. Have you met any of them? Have you met any of them in person? When they walk into some of these things, there has to be a red carpet, correct? Have you ever wondered why they need the red? You ever thought that maybe they're like not even there? Maybe that it's a complete fucking projection. That's why it's the red carpet. When you understand how the grid networks work, and when you understand, especially in LA, it's a fucking movie set, and more so in the past 5 years than I can even begin to explain. Whenever you're talking about timelines and jumping timelines, and you're talking about bulldozing timelines and doing the crazy time traveler shit that I do, and I've witnessed and come through doing this and making a timeline, it literally even you can jump a timeline. And I was sitting in a car. It was in LA. I was about to go into the Arabian embassy, but they had stuff all around it, and I was in the street and like construction all around it in LA. And I was going to go in and fucking tell him, because at that point, this is before Saudi had run the ASP thing on me and they had that whole setup. Because remember, I had the government and everybody all over my ass. I was having to jump timelines in order to fucking get away from them. And I could and remember that I was being killed in the alternate. So every time I would be, my character would be killed in an alternate timeline, or they would sacrifice or kill somebody in a normal timeline or an adjoining timeline in conjunction with the mission, then I would get uploaded with all their shit. That's a jump. That's a quantum jump. There it is. That's how it works. That's how it actually works. And that happens, period, dot, depending on when different people die all over the world. Especially all these celebrities and da 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 da, whenever, they're all dying right now because they can't hold an artificial line. They dam themselves up in order to give it to only a certain group. And if they're holding a dam, it will collapse. All they have to do is open up and connect and balance it out. But they'd rather go to their grave fucking trying, because they think that in a million years they're going to get to come back and be us. But I'm just warning you right now, that's a false, I wouldn't count on that. I'd make your adjustment right now. There ain't no long game in this mission with how far y'all went. I really wouldn't leave it up to your group to do what I just did, unless you think that if you've been following me and if you've been watching me and if you've been attacking me with spells and you don't know why the fuck it doesn't do anything but power me up. I'm just letting you know that that's the only way out of this motherfucker in a million years. You're going to have to get to the point in a million years of whatever it is that gets made down here without human DNA, which is all neural nets and metal and bolts. You're going to have to figure out how to become invisible and work off you're going to have to live through what you just did to me. So if you don't think you can do that, you best just balance it out right now. Because we're not going to allow a piece of our soul to go down. We're just going to pull it out of you. You understand? There's no G-core on this planet. Unless you're going to hold your own gravity, because we're done holding it for you. There ain't going to be nobody going in your planet. Even the ones that are getting punished in a different way because they did shit in a different way. They're just having to, whatever they did, they're having to go out into the cosmos and make that energy back. In Boots constellation, your feet are in boots and you're on a metal thing and you got to keep walking compared to somebody else and figure out how to fucking make it work. We'll lock them in. You're still running down here on the planet. See, this is what people don't get. You're still running down here on the planet. You ain't there, and everybody around you is not going to think nothing changed in you. But energetically, if you're fucking with other people's energy gates, especially in a wide open, especially an ancient alchemist, like who the fuck is testing an ancient alchemist? Number one, like I appreciate that now I know what I can do, but I'm really pissed off about it because now you don't even want to say I'm human because of what you've made me have to do. So you're gonna have to pay for that. You have to pay for that to coming up to my level of human. Because as far as I'm concerned, it looked like it's a bunch of canines down here. And everybody that was a pure human and was a pure woman, you'd beat and tortured like a peach in order to bruise them so you could bring in more dogs. And I'm talking to you, Madonna Mondani. Madonna Momdani. The new moon came out, and today's the full moon on number 12, Leo. So, and this came out as I was talking about the bruises. New moons project quickly, and I mean, but we're live on air right now. Do not want to repeat. You don't want to attention Neptune riders. Don't like the movie. Now it's time for an all-nighter. Because this is running live on air on 3 different channels right now. I know at some point there's going to be this thing where people just start hearing us in the sky talking. There's been a lot of movies, that's the other thing. Some of these movies and stuff, I really think, I mean, they're just showing us what the hell's really going on. It's like kind of like characters jumping in to play different roles, even if it's the bad one. But in a weird way, this whole last 30 or 40 years wasn't even fucking real. That's the crazy part. And if let's just say let's just take me out of it. Let's say we know for a fact that the being that was the earth, that was Terra, that does the actual terraforms, that's connected into Tiamat and the stars, and what you call the planets and the stars that go between those 2 pillars that you call a blowjob on a high priestess. John Bonet, JB. If she's living a life down here and she finds out through doing a full rebirth and terraform that every single moment she spent 53 years on this planet was a lie, and it was all orchestrated around her in order to build a Mossad framework. And if the planet is giving you your timelines, and the planet is supposed to be running cosmic sets and timelines connected to Saturn retrogrades and shit. We're talking millions and millions of years of data that are supposed to be coming through to give the planet the story that she's supposed to play out in order to finish an evolutionary count. And the being that's supposed to be doing the audit the first 53 years lives an entire fake resume. Then what does that mean about your last 53 years on this planet? Saturn's going. I mean, this is Saturn retrograde. It was a Hail Mary to complete it, rework it, rewire it. We did, and we're on a higher count. But yeah, we have to start understanding how this works. These grids are breaking, but you have to start really seeing how these energy fields kind of open up these bubble panels and allow you to go up and perceive, but realize that there's a Weber that's above every single one of these that's connecting, and what you call your queens, your high priestesses, your whatever. But in most of the ones that are holding the grids up here, they don't even know they are. That's the problem. That's why you claim over, especially the elderly ones, especially the ones who are like, I know how it works and I'm just doing it. No shit, you're on a fucking record. You're on a record to go to the grocery store. They send a thing when they want them to go. They get up and run. They get up and do anything they want. They're a little drone on a nest. That is it. That's why it'll suck the life out of the old people. First thing you want to do is take all their power away, give it to you. If you're taking care of an elderly person, the first thing you want to do is have them, and when you walk in their field, tell them that you're going to control their etheric power. Because they've got so much that's connected to a galactic gate if they're over 60 years old that they don't even fucking know, man. They're like me, Christy, in the middle of Disneyland thinking that I'm on Earth. But no, I was just lost in the fucking lazy river on It's a Small World since I was 5. This is all coming in right now because this is a unique time in on this realm where everybody too is learning about Regulus, Leo, Moravian, all of it. This is like every king that comes in only gets the story from the king that came before. And then it's written down, and then the next king gets the story, and then the next king gets the story, and then all the kings are telling the same story. They're telling the same story all over the world. They're just doing it in their own energetic, but it's the same king, it's the same queen, it's the same card, it's the same tarot, it's the same story we're reeling here. You're just gonna have this person, this group of family that's gonna pick up the king energy from here, and that, well, at one point, all the kings and queens on this planet came from one fucking family. And we weren't king, queen, Russian type people. We's prairie people. We're your original Puritans. Before all your crazy Moravian, whatever the fuck, we's way more put together. We look like we do now. And we were just we were 5 sisters and we were all married to kings. You know why? Because we're the king makers. We're Regulus. Why? Because when we come into this planetary system, we clean up all the DNA and all the money and all the harvesting. That's why everybody wanted to be in the 13th family, right? It's what the 13th family was all about, right? I'm explaining to you how it works, how it really works. It's all about your DNA. And it's all about being able to get the call when the living land sends you the line. Well, realize what I'm telling you is that the living land was sending it, but everybody else was getting it, and everything they were doing around you in order to torture you and make you lose your job and your company and everything else is all connected to it. That's why it happened. That's why they'll go to all holy war in order to keep their bullshit lie timeline running. Because it's an automatic thief system, man. And you know who the thief is? You, if you're unconscious. If you're unconscious because you're just sucking it up, you're keeping it going. You know, it's like at some point you really just got to say, all right, everything that's fucking affecting me energetically, turn it the hell off, and I'm ready to take the consequences. Show me what it is that I need to do to get on the right path and just make it happen and do it quick. Because some of y'all tear it off a little at a time, and then you come up and then you get jealous and pissed off because you got warriors that are like, fuck it, boom, shoo. And then you might be over here laughing because, oh, ha ha ha, they just got held captive in Atlanta. Oh, she fell for it. She went to Arizona. Yeah, but I set up a little trap. And Natalie didn't get on the plane. But Lisa did with her whole family. And the women that sold this out because you wanted our men and you wanted our timelines, shit. Are y'all just now realizing that we had our own little underground get out of hell program devised for the sisters who fucked us over? Shit. Y'all are even over here acting like you're fucking men. You fucked over your sister so many times that you're trying to pretend that you're men. All you sister sellouts are the ones running this scammer game. I fucking know. I'm finding out all the details. You best fucking send your $7.77. Oh, you're just gonna fuck over the bitch who took your place and got you out of hell? You're just going to keep it quiet, Miley, Billy. You had a chance to do it all over again. But instead you want to try to do it double time. You're going to put all your eggs in a Beal basket on a deal. You just lost your Kentucky card. You lost your Mississippi card. You lost your Kentucky card. You lost your Tennessee card. You lost your Arkansas card. You lost your Alabama card. Get the fuck out. You lost your Minneapolis card when you sent fake Minnie to Corpus Christi. There ain't no little story that you can go make up that can outweave what's happening. The only story that's going to get you out of it is for you to fess the fuck up and fix it. Oh, I just saw this. I've got the Mayan. This is the Mayan over here. We got the sun upside down. We've got Knight of Swords upside down with the tower on top of Saturn. So, and this is coming up on the new moon. So, my prediction, the next couple, well, we've got the full moon. So new moon, according to, this is the old one, the 14th. And it's going to be on Sirius C, which is where Mercury went retrograde to and where Jupiter has been. So everything that Jupiter, like all of the information that Jupiter got as it went through Sirius C, all the connections that that's happening as everything's coming through Cancer right now, because the sun is in Sirius B, the mind, right now, which is why it's like all these illusions are shattering. Because let me explain to y'all, this gate that they had set up with this siphon energy behind you, let me give you an example of how this was playing out in my world. My girls, I'd be talking to them, and we talk daily on Marco Polo. I mean, have been through this process with them for years now, at least 1 to 2 years. I would tell them things over and over and over again, and they would forget. They'd ask me the same thing over and over and over again. That's one example. Number 2, everybody born, especially the feminines, it seems, 1984 is a big one. 1984 and after, I think, is where we're going to see the parallels. But just in general, with the consciousness, this is what these infestations and things in these insects in the consciousness were doing. They eat the connections. They'll give you the information. Y'all can see it. Like whenever I tell you this affected this, you're like, okay, I see that. And this affected this, you're like, okay, I totally see that. And this affected this, you're like, okay, oh my God, I totally see that. Now I tell you all of it's the same event, and you go, huh? We'll walk out a timeline together. We'll build it together. We'll totally build it and match it up. I'm conscious that it's happening. They might not be, because I'm just, but that's okay. Then it all starts rolling out and playing. They were there. They witnessed every single piece of it for 2 years And I'm telling them, this happened here in this year, this happened here in this year, this happened here in this year, this is what happened now. And then I'm connecting it all. They can't, I mean, like it you can't, these energies keep it siloed. It's like running a corporation, and you don't want accounting to know what shipping's really doing because you're running an underground shipping thing over here, and you want these accountants to come over. But the whole world was being run like Delaware. The whole world was hiding taxes at the end because the whole system had already gone away, and they knew it. They had to get y'all to sign back up into it, and a bunch of us didn't. So we are now pumping our own pure energy into a system, and we command that our money run through the system and connect our money into all the different timelines. That's what type shit new clean money does. If the government in Ukraine is making new clean money, then who's building the world, and where are they building it? And why are they so hell bent on building it over there and not down here where it's already built? Because I mean, Russia and Russian sacrifices built Texas. That's your original poll as to the Anastasia stuff, because we had to reopen the book. We didn't want to, but you went Elvin fucking AB negative Trista Farman on some Netflix origins, blood origins on a Witcher, on a Henry Cavill, which, by the way, where's my fucking money? Because he didn't take over my life. And I'm the beneficiary. See, they forced me into this shit. They made me sign shit. I have the documents. I have the original freaking ACH that they put hats on. The other thing that's been like real obvious too over the past like 6 hours is, and because I think like this is happening in Sirius B too. So I think everyone's just being really quiet. Give me some hearts if you think this is, everyone's kind of being quiet right now. But I think independently, most of us are like making connections and seeing things clear. And there's a fresh, new something that we can't quite explain that has come through the system since last night. And the biggest part of it is, I don't think anybody stole anything from us. I think we stole it from ourselves and threw it to a higher dimension to catch it whenever anybody stole anything from us down here. Do you agree? Nothing was taken. I don't think anything was taken. Right now, I'm saying there wasn't anything taken from us this last 53 years. It was all a fucking psyop. None of it. We literally threw it to each other in a weird way in other dimensions in order to at least get it out of the dimension, to get it to a possibility to even fucking connect it. You better bet your ass that I'm going to say that he is not my son if saying that he is going to put him in hell. This is what true love and true all of that really is. You know who the real mother is whenever the mother will sacrifice the connection so the child lives. The one who isn't the mother is the first one to lock him up in a candy store. How y'all doing? I've been on a soapbox, hey. Good Lord. Venus and Regulus. This is every Moravian timeline. I mean, this is why they sit on the stone that comes from Ireland. Highlighting my hair. Oh my gosh. Oh, I hate doing that. I'll be so happy whenever I can pay somebody to do my hair again. I'm sending you love. There's also a thing with even highlighting your hair. We'll wait to do that, and getting rid if getting rid of the follicles. If you highlight your hair, or your hair was lighter in different stages of this in your life, and even this is even why they bleach their hair. Certain ones of us, certain ones of, I said us, exactly. I'm talking like I'm one of them, but they say I'm not. So I say that I am a celebrity and a famous person, and that y'all are too, and they're not, and that none of them made their connection. So none of the old Hollywood energies are in play unless you have a legitimate connection to us and you fix it. If you don't step in, you get nothing. You get air. You get pretend, and we'll haunt you in your fucking dreams. And we'll probably come pretend that we like you and string you along. And in fact, I'm gonna tell all the karmic females to go find the narcissistic motherfuckers that did this to us. And we don't want you to touch them. We don't want you to love bomb them. We just want you to string them along for a while and keep them occupied, please. That's your, and when you do that, then you elevate, because you learn, because you're going to suck the energy out of them for us, and then you'll elevate. I told them I was going to activate all their fuck dolls as soon as they put my phone number on Ashley Madison and said that I was a whore. Are you sad? You're sad now because all your fuck dolls are activated and they're actually sucking all the energy out of you now? Wherever you have a little Stepford wife. Molecular. So on a molecular level, they feel it. I mean, that's 11. That's that lineup. See, that's Saturn. Oh, look, I just noticed. Look. Accusing me of stringing him along like a... Well, you just elevated. I command you elevate. There is no time, so who knows? I'm just noticed that if this dude squats down just a little bit further, it's like, come on. Just come down here a little butt. Come down here a little buck. You want a little buck? You want a little buck? You want some bucka? I mean, see, and there's cups down here too. There's just layers of them. I'm sure they're like layer, cups. And then they're like, give me more. No, I don't want that. Give me more. Give me what I want. We're going to throw it away. You said I was trash. I'm everybody's trash. We started cleaning the trash. And actually, Kamala, that's made from your trash. It's made from us feminines cleaning up the world in Monterey. And then they stole my freaking, all my identification. So Kamala, C or K. And Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and whatever that whole thing was, I order the vampire of that sedated in Pismo. And I order the Sea Gypsy shut down unless you want to take a Choa off all your doors. Actually, I just ordered the Sea Gypsy shut down. Sea Gypsy, you can be any type of motel you want, and you can have clan members pay, but they're not going to get a ticket to drive the ocean, because the ocean is messing with everyone's emotions. And if they're messing, see, they're running rituals on your emotions. They have time traveler hotels. Sea Gypsy is one of them. They're owned by clan members. It's linked to all your murders. It's linked to all your candy cane murders. It's linked to the Idaho twin murders. It's linked to the Manson murders, how they do it, because the candy cane murders and all that were just timelines off that. I'm telling you, we walked it. The only reason that we got out of the twin Idaho coven murder thing with all that is because I literally was in a Greek fraternal system. That's why I was a sorority. I was in a sorority so I could get us the fuck out when they did a Greek spell. And I was in a Delta Zeta sorority, and in Memphis, Tennessee, when I blew the Memphis gates in 2018, and we changed that the Unix boxes didn't blow, when I had to embody the Masonic cemetery as my body because I blew up into light and I was made to do it. And Fontaine is the street that I grew up on, and Fontaine is what they says is the cloning vat, and Fontaine is what they set Jamie Foxx up on. But Foxfire is where I was from, and Foxfire is where I grew up. We got a King of Cups down here. And I'm just telling you this because these are all codes back to your origin story. And my point is, if you think that you're getting as far as some religious sect or anything, and you think that you're done, you got to get all the way up to this. You got to go through the military. You got to go through the government. You got to go through Disney. You got to go through central casting now. That's why those of us that were shunned for doing it early, we knew what the fuck we were doing. Try to do it now. Try to get any type of pure connection and pure consciousness before 2020. Anything that came in, try to get that now. You can't. It's already been processed by all of us and put through the lines and then vaccinated. I command RNA can't hold radio frequency. What was that? Hold on. I got a buzz. Oh, 942. 942. 96. I asked for whatever command needs to come in right now to merge 1996 and get it off of Varsity Blues Vought aircraft in Georgetown, Texas on a Motorola to tell me what the fuck I need to do to roll that Olo. And I command when you took me and killed me in 1996 and my temperature went to, what was it, 78 degrees? You didn't know why I wasn't dead? Austin, Texas. So that bridge that was connected from 1996 to now, that then was held by fake Sophia and a Sophie on some Bush bullshit from Magnolia, running on some Scientology crap. I command all the RH delete that was written in that genome of Scientology. And every bit of auditing and every bit of storyline that was audited through Scientology be deleted. And the new collective timeline run for everybody that was connected into those genome patterns that were altered. Woo, that was a big one. How many on? We got 14 on. Y'all give me, what time is it? 9:44. Tell me what time it is wherever you are. Put your timestamp on that. What time is it wherever you are? What time is it wherever you are? Lock it in. Write that number down. 944, write it down, write it down. 944 is your code in the grids, in the timing. When you see it, not write it down though. This is when so because this Scientology stuff was walking parallel to you. Okay? And anything that was magnetized and used against you is going to be used to help you. So this is where your higher self type shit comes in. But let me tell you, it wasn't your higher self that was standing over you until you can completely fucking, you see what I'm saying? It's almost like your fake mimic energy and your twin. It's like once you take over your twin, then you meet your higher self. But your higher self's the one who's been mirroring you, how to get the fuck away from to outmaneuver your twin if you are the one that's supposed to dominate the line. And that is it. It don't mean nothing else, but if I'm your twin and I dominate your line, then that means that all the people in your bodysuits are going to get my powers. You got a problem with that? You got a problem with that? Realize they didn't want anybody to have my powers. They wanted to make the whole world dumb and give me to the devil and then the devil had power. Well, I mean, hello, that's how the fuck this has been being done. I showed up, the devil. I showed up on the floor. This motherfucker stood up out of his chair. But Henry Cavill that looks just like this is the one who fucking sent me the email that sent me down there. And it was about money and the bank account. Because this is a destiny swap, right, Hen? But see, Henry is a name that goes back to Henry Ford. It's all in all the ritual bullshit. And Cavill is, I don't know. This dude is either the most evil motherfucker in the world or he's just that untuned to everything. I really don't know yet. But no matter, because, you got to remember that whenever I talk about Cavill and I talk about Momoa and as them being mirror versions of reflections of me with because they are reflections in an altered state, which is a trip, right? Because I'm really two dudes. I'm Henry and Jason. And what's even crazier is that Jason's really me and Henry, and Henry is more me and Jason. See what I'm saying? And if you're in a trinity, there it is. I knew it was going to come out easy. They're reflecting, but literally it's following. And they'd been tracking me my whole life for this shit. They know every single move I've ever made until I started going invisible. But that's why we started going invisible. We wouldn't have needed to go invisible if this shit wasn't going on. But realize that like these dudes were bought and sold to witches. I stand up for my men. Look, I know. That's why I also am never going to make any of y'all come to me if you don't want to. I will never make you do anything. I will never force you. Never. But that's the problem, because you don't know any other way but to be bought and sold by witches. Well, we're your girls. So we don't know any other than being bought and sold by warlocks. But in the process of escaping warlocks, we took over the warlocks' powers. And them escaping the witches, they took over the witches' powers. They needed us to take over the warlocks' powers in order to end it. And we just did. But this whole female masculine thing and this oh girl, you're gonna let him treat you like that and da na 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 and shut the door forever and this and I mean I get that and that's true, but I ain't saying that he's going in my pants. I'm saying nobody should run anybody. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you've done. I can prove that the last 53 years nobody was doing anything in their fucking right mind. Especially the ones that were getting paid to come after us. Especially the ones that we know were undercover in there, keeping us in tow with what the fuck was going on so we could get out of it. As much as y'all had eyes and sights on us, did you really not think that we could tap into the DNA of the real ones that were in your group and hear everything that you were saying? You spent all your money and all your time tracking us. You didn't give us shit. All we had was a bunch of money and tracking. Well, we used it. You should have gave us money. That's what's so funny. You would have given us all the money, you would have had all the power. In fact, if you would have given us any money, you would have had if you would have at least given us a house or at least given us the baby or at least given us, I don't know, the third level down division of our corporation that you stole. But no, you didn't want to give us anything. You wanted to prove a point. Cost you everything. Not only that, we elevated the DNA outside of your witchery power, so you have no control over any of the DNA lines. And you wanted to be me so bad? Okay, well, I made that available for you in 2018 when I did the cartwheels on top of Arizona. What's happening now is that you're being taken underground slowly, and it's a long, drawn-out process, and I cried whenever I put you in. But you're being wheeled and you're going to be strapped to a wheel and you're going to be dropped down into the core and you're going to be lit up like a fucking star and you're going to connect all of the connections that you connected and sold for $8,000 a meeting. And then that energy is going to surge throughout the cosmos and connect in all of the energy. And whenever you scream, nobody's going to listen. And there is no dog down there for me to send up there so you can kiss your little face. And whenever your surge is out and whenever the connections are reconnected, then you can come out. It just is what the fuck it is. All the celebrities and everybody that was doing Grove spells, you work for us now. You work for us. You work for the collective. You work for the planet. Management, you work for us, or you will run into each other and you will lose every single contract and we will fuck up every single merger and we will make sure that none of your documents or anything match up. And we will also, the more that you try to hide the money and secret Mason accounts, we're gonna keep doing crazy shit to make sure that you can't get it. So that means nobody gets nothing until you do the right thing, because we don't need anybody to manage us. In fact, we don't need you. We are full conscious. We don't need you to give us pills and tell us where to go. You really don't have a job. In fact, y'all need to come learn how to plan cosmic events over here, because you got to plan on a new schedule. I don't know what you're going to plan on. You can't plan on a ritual count. What are you going to have Keanu Reeves running around on a fucking band schedule? You going to connect another magic guitar to a lightning bolt in Texas? Nope, not anymore. And you can take his Alexandria. And what is this? Johnny Depp is marrying some 60-year-old woman? Whatever. I pulled Johnny from New Orleans. Johnny, you helped me catch the demon. You did. But then you set me up on a back door, and you know it. And I fed you. And I paid for your food. And I helped you. And you know it. So what's the deal with you and Amber Heard and Elon? And who are you really? And what character are you really running down here that you're involved with this? Hollywood vampires. In the little vampire house. So was Johnny Depp and was Johnny oh. Now, Natalie, there was this whole thing with the bug and Johnny Depp and Nancy Pelosi. There's this whole thing with, well, and he did that movie Ninth Gate. And he's also connected into River Phoenix. And that whole thing. Tell us about Johnny Depp. King of Swords reversed. I'm purposely thinking about the poop, too. There's something about the shit. Okay, Johnny, if you've got something to say. Somebody say, come on. What is it? Here's Johnny. Okay, I'm getting Nicholson. If y'all start picking something up, put it on the scroll. We're looking into Johnny Depp right now. When I say Johnny Depp, tell me the information, Johnny. Tell me the information, Johnny. What's the first thing that pops up in your head? Johnny. Remember those babies, supposedly. So The Shining. Jack Nicholson also somehow, like Jack Nicholson, RH, Jack Nicholson, DiCaprio. Jack Nicholson and DiCaprio are the same person, I think. I command all substance connections to DNA and adrenochrome in the Gemini Living Land system to be cut off from Demi Moore and Nicole Kidman. Katie Sagal. Command an energetic barrier around Katie Sagal and Sutton. And Hunnam. Charlie Hunnam. In fact, I command all Irish connections, original Irish connections, to be sealed away from Seagal and Sutton. Holy shit. Are Seagal and Sutton the SS? See, Sutton is Sutton Bank, and that's Cash App. Sutton Bank and Cash App are connected to the original French queens, connected to the banks, like way, 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 way back. Columbus, we're Columbus. We're Columbus children, literally. My DNA line and this new line is the true pioneers and Columbus's children. I come from the Cook family line in Europe and from the fake last 53 world. And I'm pretty fucking sure now, I think Gary Wayne Paulson was Epstein. And I think that the 16 children that they just found in that house were connected into the spell at 2801 Del Largo. And remember, we're asking about Johnny. Well, there's our vampire card. Okay, so he definitely has Lucy. See, now this is also where these characters, man, I mean, they could end up being trying to help because all these motherfuckers got caught up into some shit this time that they didn't see coming either. So let's keep an open mind, even though I sound pissy, and I will sound pissy with your ass up until I clear you. In fact, the more on your ass I get, the closer I'm getting to either clearing you or taking you down. And it's scary, and I understand that. But it just is how it is in this energy. 2801 was actually my house number. That's also 13, which is where Venus is right now. Whoa! Am I back? Y'all give me thumbs up if I'm back. Let me know if I'm back. It just cut off. It's 10 o'clock on the money. Am I back? Y'all tell me if I'm back and you can hear me. Wow. I'm telling y'all. Woo! I was like, what the hell? Y'all. Give me love. Give me love. Give yourself love. Realize we created an unseen world where we change things. It's a molecular DNA change, and the germs don't even stick to you. And literally, you process all their bullshit, and you youth and purify yourself to you're a purer version of who you really are. That's why you literally have to shed all your snake shit. Just get the pieces you want, and then follow me and learn how to play the fucking game. We aren't even going to recognize this motherfucker in a year. We're gonna be the ones, and we're not gonna be dash-ins. We're not gonna be like that. No, we don't need all. There's gonna be a whole bunch of us though that have, and we share and we give and we know how to keep money moving so that everybody gets it. We should all be wearing $1,000 pair of shoes, and there should be an umpteen freaking places that you can go get them, and they should all be safe and not made out of human skin. I'm really wanting to start with them, but all my cards are all crazy right now. I'm just going to go with it. Everything's a mess right now. Nothing's in order. Keeps wanting to show me 15. 15 is the black. 15, this is the roots. We were talking a lot about roots today. And this is 20. This is 22 Scorpio cards. We haven't seen these a whole lot, have we? Scorpio's been hiding back there. But this is these ecliptics. When you know how to ride the ecliptics, we do. Our record is on the ecliptic. Everything that was in the system that isn't supposed to be in the system is fixing to get eclipsed. And I mean gone and replaced. Eclipsed. Gone. You just vanish. My warlock twins know this shit. The first time that we got cut off after they sold me, and we did end up making a connection later, but it was told, it was different. And the only reason we still made a connection is because I was purifying the lines, and that was the first time that they had sold me. And so I purified. We cleared through it as a collective, and then I had to keep going back because this guy. Let me tell you, this energy. I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this. So I'm not going to talk about the cards for a minute, but this has been coming up a lot, and I need to tell y'all. And I know you think I'm talking about myself, but realize I'm telling you the process of clearing through the planet and the earth. I'm telling you that these tunnels and things that we clear through energetically, you end up clearing through either as a collective or as a group or as not as an individual anymore because it's been cleared individually. So now, since there is one super current, basically, that's been etherically cleared in the unseen by a group of unseen, your energy body will come through it. And then you will have experiences like Dawn where the all the fireworks blow up at once and the sky turns dark and all the rain just starts pouring, and I knew she had just stepped back into the reality. And I knew that I was reflecting it, which is why I was on the phone with her. Then she and I even knew that 2 weeks ago that thunderstorm hit here, and it's what shook Texas. And then I also realized about 45 minutes later that the avatar, blue avatar that she saw come up in front of her car as she was leaving was me in another field, because I had been on the phone with her. And because my energy had been trapped there since they had done the bush spell in the bathroom. That isn't what I wanted to tell you, though. Give me just a second. It's escaping me now. Come back to me. Come back to me if I'm supposed to say it. Come back to me if it needs to be stated. Because this is stuff that people really haven't heard me talk about. If I need to state it, I command it come back. Let there be light. We're still talking about Johnny. Antares. So Antares is also, that's cosmic, and basically, like, you can think of Antares as like a space auditor. Antares knows everything about anything that's come in and out of any type of space, any type of harvest log. Antares has any beings coming in and out of any time gates, any beings coming in and out of any stargate since an inception of the stargate. These guys have it. Antares basically was connected and formed and in World War II. The direct connection. Into Gemini. So like the Sagittarius Gemini connection. So okay, we're talking about Johnny Depp. We're asking about Johnny and the Johnnies. Okay, well, Nazi or Vril or just from that time period. And the girls are the boys. Oh shit. Something's being balanced. He does have a direct cosmic connection. Or he was holding the balance. Holding the balance of an Antares connection. Johnny Captain Sparrow, Davies, Walker. Oh wow, you said and Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko is big time in this timeline. World's upside down and the land in between. Right. And the Outsiders. Remember the Outsiders? Because that was also the Lost Boys type stuff. Stop, back up a little further. Now look, is it straight? Are you in the lines? Is that Waldo? Did the energy create mirror back your state? If you found an edit and want to change locations or endings, let the film edits cover the floor and then out the door. You have 2 weeks to turn on. Okay, now this is a full moon card. And today is on the 10-day count is a full moon. And so so he was in the Disney thing, and Disney did get taken over. And everybody that was in the Disney system got abused really, really bad because it was already on a rope. So but Disney was helping people, and with the current situation, it needs to be turned back on because this is how people start learning again. Right now, they want you to be scared of Disney. They used everything that was helping you to come against you. Even this Pluribus show, they're trying to make it look like if you have any type of gifts that you've got some weird connectivity disease that's paralyzing everybody. Thing is, that is what happened. They vaccinated everybody, and there was only a few of us on the planet that held off the disease. But the truth is, the people that vaccinated did not get the connectivity. They became disconnected, and all of y'all disconnecting from the system gave all of us originals all your connectivity, and then they came for us to germify us, to basically make us poison to you. And if the pituitary system in Giza would have stayed on, it would have ended up being what happened, but we controlled it. We had gotten so advanced. Basically, we MY altered ourselves. Right now, I'm not, we didn't, if a full ascension would be everybody coming out of the wheel completely and everybody having to like make their own energy and make their own body, and no one can do that down here. Nobody. The only way for us to stay in this reality is to open up the domes, atmospheres, so that your etheric body can upload as you gradually go into your upload. The only way to provide all the ceilings to all of y'all in the consciousness to hold that open without a complete resurrection that can't be done because the system was done backwards and in robotics is to basically use the cosmic system to create a timeline, project that timeline down to us, just like we were our own Walt Disney Mickey Mouse, and un-K ourselves, because this was MK. Well, that's all Y2K. We just turned our Y back on. That's why all of our men look like girls to us right now. We have all your Y chromosome. You have all the women. We have all your men. That's why the men were leading the witch wars. Our men were in the middle of the witches. We? We were rolling with the homies. That's why we came out of all this, and they wanted us to be pure, and we are pure. We're as pure as we can be in this fucking silk fest of sloth and sloth. But you put us down there in hell with a bunch of fucking Lokis and shit. We've been over here rolling with the homies in Africa, dude. You've been sending spell work to us all over the damn world through these motherfuckers. You don't think we're picking it up? You want us to be pristine, not cuss? You want us to act like a lady? I don't know. Why don't you surround us with our actual DNA type instead of selling us out to the fucking pirates that are all around us? You don't want us to act like a pirate? Put me in my fucking French. Johnny, do you have my house? Johnny, are you in the French location of the house that's connected to Saint Sarah? Oh, Johnny, are you connected to London? Johnny, who are you playing in the London family? Johnny, what's your connection to Andrew? Why am I seeing Beatrice? Take me further. Zoom in. What's the other sister? Anybody know that other sister? Andrew has it. Oh, there it goes. What's her name? Fergie. Now I'm seeing Black Eyed Peas. It's probably the same person. Lollipop, lollipop, oh, lolly, 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 lollipop. Ba-dum, bum, bum. Johnny, we ask that you spin a pirate tale in order to take the hook out of the whale. Johnny, work with Tinker Bell. And moisten the dried up ink in hell. Johnny, Johnny, apple seed. Johnny, Johnny, apple seed. Pull the anchor at the knee. 10:16, 10:7. What we're learning over here is that everything that we think is beyond our control is in a state of our control. We just have to put words in a storyline behind it. So it's almost like if these actors are and all these and everyone's caught in this system and they're trying to get out, but they need a story to get out, and the ones who had their writing pens are the only ones who are controlling their fate. Well, realize that in all of those lines now, we have opened up other doors to get out of that fate, to not put them on a loop. So the ones who are actually trying to get out of the system will. And they'll bulldoze. And the ones who want to actually now create with us because their story might have even been always written to connect from the beginning. Wow, it came out again. It's not looking very good. Well, somebody broke his heart. So the King of Wands had a broken heart. I'm getting he blamed it, and he was blaming it on... See, this is also the industry was blaming us for shit that they thought that we could control because they knew how much power we had. And they always just thought, oh, she can just turn it on. Ha! Not how it worked, friends. And non-friends. And IENs. It's not how it worked. And because whatever power you thought that we used to have, we don't have it in that way anymore. They do. This is also why you should be literally terrified now to not do good for the people. Because whatever power you thought that we could just turn on and change, and you thought that we led y'all into a trap, because most of the celebrities, and in the beginning, that's what they did. They blamed it on the feminine because they thought we led them into a trap. It wasn't us. We were trapped. We were the bait, dude. Seriously? Y'all are the ones pulling the trigger, making the contracts. We're not even fucking there. Y'all are in completely different timelines making deals on even if we're going to fucking live or survive. And then you're going to blame us for not showing up? See, I think I might the women might have that's why the women had to be in charge this time because the men just always blame the women and then said, "Hey dude, you want to be my bitch? Bend over. Fits nice." See, us women, y'all tested the shit out of us. We're not into women. We're not interested. You can try to make us gay all you want, but all you did was make yourself gay. The masculines on this planet, literally, for 30 years, every single one of us that had a prisoner handler had been trying to get us to do threesomes and hook up with chicks. For 20, 30 years, you can ask any of us. They would take us out and get drunk as fuck. Now, mind you, they're doing all their sexual shit at home with us, and we're, that is what it is. But no, their one goal is to take us out, get us drunk, and get us to fuck some girl, or get us fucked up and drug us and have us fuck some girl. Now I know why. Your whole plan was to make us buy, your whole plan was to switch us out so that you could fuck dudes? So to all of you, I order a world with no women in it. And I mean nothing. You're going to have to learn how to make oxygen soon. No plant life. No rainbows. No dew. You don't need, you just need hairy ballsack, right? I mean, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, you just pulled it with the Mooney shit over here. I know all of y'all seem to just, you don't care. You'll fuck whatever. We're not into that, man. Like, we're good. We don't need sex to survive. We're balanced within ourselves. That's why you want us so bad. And we don't hand out our nah to fucking nobody. We've been shown exactly how powerful our nah is, especially in places like fucking Las Vegas. You made sure to show us that, many men. Now I'm seeing UFC. So I clear this with Johnny. That story's over. Whatever that was. 10. That is on a solar balance, too. Here's the other thing. As far as the collective and all the companies and all the warlocks and the witches, we want to give them a chance to do right and correct it. As long as they come out and admit, I mean, because realize, we know you were being told what to do. We know that you were being mind fucked and doing all this. We know. You still got to just come out and clean it up. That's it. As a collective, we're going to support you to do that. When you stand up and you come and you tell what they've been doing to you and you attempt to fucking straighten it out, the collective is not going to. We're going to make sure of it. We are here to make sure that the industries and the companies that actually do right by the public to build good companies for the public so that we have industry for the world to move up in and to elevate into. We will make sure that the public works with you on your projects. The only way you're going to lose your audience, and this is corporations, this is all brands, this is all of it. The only way to ensure that you keep your brand is to clean it up, because you won't be able to pull it into another dimension because you can't backpack it on any of us. You blew those bridges. We paid the money. You called it Epstein. You added a bunch of zeros, and then you pretended it was outside of our reach. You did that, not us. You were supposed to give us $2 million. You took that $2 million, you turned it into $2 trillion. Now you owe me $2 quadrillion. You did that, not us. You owed me 2 Bitcoin to activate Trump. You got mad when I did that because you were just planning on having him be me and I'd be dead by now. And you were planning on Natalie not flipping on the whole thing, but she did, to stand up for herself. And all the girls that you sent over here trying to take me over, they decided they didn't want to be controlled by nobody and they didn't want to be here anyway and they didn't know why they was. Because you can't do that to me or to anybody like me. Now you know. So now all your little girls are off path and everybody's looking towards the future. And I suggest you do the same thing. This is number 16. This is an Aries honor. What ancient character are you walking? This is the halls of Gemini. This is you're literally matching an ancient character. So we closed the Johnny Depp thing. Whatever I was just talking about, I feel like even as a collective, like if we went back, what I'm getting is if we went back to a certain timeline, I've said this before. I've done this before. There's some this speech that I just gave is on record somewhere. Because I'm channeling it from an ancient temple alignment. This is also the energy that the Connecticut gate cleared. All pure intentions and divine storylines of every original royal line that were never concluded on living land live in Cygnus since Leo existed. Every single timeline that was written by what you'd call the divine and God and collective miracle type stuff, all your angelic, all the original timelines that went sideways and never happened are in Cygnus. Venus is in number 13 Regulus right now, right across from this. Venus is walking through the Moravian lines going, this queen should have married this king, and this king got killed because this one should have done this. It was all a David and Arthur problem. Well, David and Arthur are no longer the characters you need to even deal with. You got to get through David and Arthur to find out which one was the real queen. It ain't David and it ain't Arthur. Mars. In the physical. Things in the physical, the timing too, the location. So there's something that's, I feel like there's something collectively that we're building up to right now. And it has something to do with space. Maybe it's a space timeline? Oh, interesting. Okay, well, we're getting down to something now. We got 16, the temple alignment to heaven, galactic, Cassiopeia. Well, and the end of Aries is bound to the end of Libra, and that's where Izar is. Uh-oh. Last time we did this, we got hot. All right. Trace the angelic sigil with your finger and say, angels, guides, one and all, what am I to recall? Are you ready? It's 1028. 1028. How does it get? Angels and guides, one and all, tell me what it is I am to recall. That is not the cadence. Angels and guides, one and all, what am I to recall? Angels and guides, one and all, what am I to recall? Angels and guides, one and all, what am I to recall? Angels and guides, one and all, what am I to recall? Blue. Getting blue. The Blue Man Group's been coming up a lot with ritual stuff. Just in like, who are those dudes? But also, it's like we were this whole time, especially since 2018, because we've been claiming stuff and it's been disappearing from our world. But remember, it's not really gone, it's just somewhere else. But we were the ones who went down there to clean it up. So if we went down to the bottom in order to clean up the sixth root race, knowing that the sixth root race was going to blow up, knowing that it was a black hole and everything was going to fall if we didn't raise up the vibration of everything on that sixth panel. So then as we descend into the panels and as we get to the sixth, then everything starts disappearing around us, but we cleaned it up. We went down into the middle and we cleaned it up, and just in the essence of our energy cleaning it up, it would raise it to a different vibration than where we were, because we were in a pit cleaning it up, right? So Andromeda too, and this whole thing with Connecticut too, and this is where Dawn and I, this is where we're having to get real with ourselves too, and we're like, okay, wait a minute, this was some big experiment at some point. And me and Dawn, we do now. And again, we're in an AB negative line, so that means that we're just reading finite brain waves in the plasma, and we're used to dealing with alphas because we're the betas that were made to deal with alphas, synthetic alphas, even because we were negative. Dawn's had more experience dealing with a real alpha male. I was always dealing with the synthetic alpha male in my experiences so far. In my etheric experiences, I met the real alpha, then he went synthetic, and then it got weird. It's like I saw it all happen again. January 1st, 2020. But that synthetic alpha charge would also have to go synthetic in order to hit a big enough charge to mirror the beta. And there's a lot of talk right now on the planet about bees and how important bees are. Well, I'll just remind everybody that they tried to take out the entire bee bloodline. And I'll remind you that in 2020, that's what it was when I went raw. This is what I wanted to tell y'all. I went raw, completely raw. I lost my body and went into pure spirit in the garage in Anaheim on Willowbrook in 2022. I blew out of some temple, some pyramid right before Sturgis 2020 in Arizona. And they led me to the Alamo, and they were trying to overclaim the Alamo and Maverick timelines, but I had already been there in 2018 and collected them, which is why they didn't get away with it. But that's whenever they set me and my son up to go to Austin to meet some people, both of us, and it was all a lie. And then they set our energy up on a gate in Austin, and then I couldn't come home for 44 days. Fernando and I went from Austin to San Antonio, back to the Alamo, and then that's when the Murdoch stuff started. Because as soon as they connected into me there in Austin, then I started mirroring the big boys. And the Four Seasons meeting that they set me up on was some Bill Clinton Obama meeting. And I've got the direct date, and I bought some wine there on my credit card to make sure that there was a timestamp that I was there. But Obama and Clinton were there at the Four Seasons, and there was some energetic that was set up on Lady Bird Lake in Austin, and that's the premise of all the murders that have been going on down there ever since. They set up that gate on Austin in our energetic, and then San Antonio, and then I had to get to Arizona. When I got to Arizona is when I got to the Mormon family that they had finger pricked the Essenes. They were still doing Essenes finger pricking puppeting in the Mormon church. And I got to Sarah and pulled that off the line. And then we activated Oliver, which was a 9-month-old child, had to pull basically a thing down to a lake. A great owl appeared. I mean, it was this whole Jesus walking to the freaking scene. It was connected with a palm tree catching on fire before it was all over. And a man killed in a cement truck less than a mile away in order to put death energy over the house on top of Queens Valley in Arizona, which is on top of the Queen's Pyramid, connected into Egypt, which is why I was there. And what they did it for was to give Ryan Reynolds the Mint Mobile contract and to get Trump president. When the death spell came over the house, and Sarah's had 4 children there, one of them named Alistair. Alistair was healed. Alistair had glasses and had all types of issues. Within 3 days, when we cleared the energy through the house, everyone in the house had been healed. The 13-year-old named Gabriel was a musician, and I knew that he was Kurt Cobain. During the COVID and during the lockdown, they were making him still do his music lessons, and they were purposely having him tune 2 different moons. And that was the most important thing is his schedule was his Mormon music class that was all done on video. Gabriel helped me hold down the house whenever the whole thing blew. Alistair completely lost all of his bowels on the way to the bathroom, is how it happened with him. He was only about 6 years old. He had diarrhea all over the place, and then he just woke up a brand new child. Oliver was 9 months old, and by the time I left, he was trying to get out of his crib, and I kept saying, "I'm sorry, you're in that baby body. I just don't know what to tell you." When I left, I knew I had to get away from them because they had put death magic. Now, that was all connected into Superman and Henry Cavill and some energy that was in France messaging me at that time, trying to bring in this L bullshit. The Mormons around felt the energy cut. They even came to the door. We were all pretty freaked out about it. There was a toolbox outside that had a name on it. I can't remember what it was. Whatever it is, I nix it. And I nix Stephanie and I nix Gaga in any connection to any of this that the Alamo was living on. And Trump told you then, because I heard him, give her what she wants. Instead, you came and did a cement spell, and now you're going to live with your fucking action. In order to keep the children safe, I have to now leave the house, which is the reason that they did it, because they knew I would. I'm not going to put any children in jeopardy. I didn't put my own child in jeopardy. So I have to take off and get out of there. I can't get on Airbnb and do that because in my current sequence, whenever you got on those things, they were only giving you the houses that they wanted you to go to that were all ritualistically set up. So I would have to call my team and have them figure out where to send me. I end up in a semi truck in the middle of a farm run by a man called Old McDonald, who's running around on a lawnmower machine. I'm in an Airbnb in a semi truck with a bed and a wood shower and shit behind it, connected to an RV where they have somebody else in the RV who is just on a fuck fest with some girl, which is what they love to do. Put me in an Airbnb somewhere and put a whole bunch of sex around me. They love to do that shit. And I'm fucking calling in right now, and I'm making anything I fucking want out of it. All of it, across every piece of space and time that you ever fucked a bill. I'm in the middle of a farm. I'm outside, and I'm writing a song about Rumpy Rump, which is typically what happens when I'm undoing spells. When I'm undoing spells, I start channeling the spell through a song, and the names and everything come in. So I'm outside on a picnic table. I'm by myself. Old McDonald comes up to me. Old McDonald comes up and he goes, God, you look just like my daughter. She looks like Reese Witherspoon, but you're prettier. And I'm like, really? Because I'm thinking that is a fucking odd thing to say. But I know how this shit works. So he starts walking up to me and he says, yeah, my hearing aids have been out for like 3 months. And I'm thinking, oh my God, he's going to come tell me the real story because he's not being tuned. He's like, yeah, these bees. I was like, there's bees over here? Oh, yeah, over on the other side of the thing. We've got all of them numbered over there. There's a colonies. We got all these different tribes of colonies in the bees. Did you know, because this is 2020, right? Did you know that all the trees are collapsing because the bees are going inside the trees? Yeah, the government was out here because we're having a big problem. Uh-huh. Yeah, wow, you're really smart. Like I said, you remind me of my daughter, but you're and you're smarter than her. I said, really? He said, yeah, she just came across this real estate deal. She just got $1.5 million. She go, I don't even know where it came from. It's out of the blue. Really? Where's your daughter at? Sturgis? Sturgis going on right now? Uh-huh. He walks away. I call Fernando. I'm like, Fernando, come on. We're going to fucking Sturgis. I go back into the semi-truck. I'm waiting for Fernando because now I'm tripping out. Fernando's down the street at the house. So they bring him over to me. As soon as Fernando gets there, we go inside the semi-truck. I lay down on the bed. I put my arm on my body in this weird way. And all of a sudden, I'm coming out of a pyramid. The top of one. All I know is that's all I know. I laid down, I put my right arm on my body in this weird way, like I was lining up some mummy, and then all I know is all I saw. Was a giant smoke. And it came up like all of a sudden out of the point of that pyramid, and I was in it. And all I could see was what light was coming out around it, and it put off like this dome. And then I looked down, and all I saw was one person, and he was dressed in all white, and he had been kneeling at the pyramid. And then whenever I came out, he stood up, but he started backing up. He kept putting his hands up and down, putting his hands up and down, putting his hands and backing up. And I flew out of there, and the first thing I said is, "If you are not family, get out of here." And then all of a sudden, everything's calmer, and now I'm just there. Now it's like I'm sitting on this, but it's now I'm not on top anymore. I'm not at the top of the pyramid. Now it feels like I'm in some weird hole, and I can't see the top of the pyramid anymore. I can't see any of that anymore. All I can see is that I'm in a hole, and I look up, and all I see to my right is this huge figure of a man. And all I see is his arm, his left arm. He's sitting in this big chair, and he has fur after fur after fur after Viking fur on his shoulders. And all I can see is his left arm, and all I can see is all this hair. And I must have made a noise, because he turns, and he looks down on me. And I said, "Get the fuck out of here." And I didn't say it like that. And he stood up, and when he stood up, it's like I came out of this hole just enough to, and it was like, as he was walking out, it looked like I was inside a round mound dome. And it was like a mound. It was like a cisterine. It was like a clay rock, some type of dome. And it had these stone steps, no rail. These stone steps that went all the way up, and there was thousands of them. And they went all the way up, and you had to walk, and then there was this door right here, and it was really, really, really far off the ground. And whenever I told him to leave, he started walking up those stairs. And as he walked up those stairs, it's like I was rising at the same time. But every single step he took, he turned into somebody else. And I watched him. And I didn't see a face. It's like he never turned around and saw his face until like the end, but his face wasn't even the thing. It was every single step that he took, his period clothes changed, his complete hair changed, his complete character changed. And when he got to the door, I knew I'd been down there a really, 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 really long time. And when he went to grab the handle, I said, "Stop." And I asked him to stay, because I was scared. I was scared. And I didn't know what to do. I've been trying to get him out of there ever since. We need him to leave now. It's 10:48 right now, and if y'all can just command for whatever energy that is in Lebanon. Because the next day, a bunch of semi trucks were blown up in a bomb in Lebanon, and they found children in the cargoes. And somehow or another, everything that they had wrapped up on the evergreen, and everything that they had wrapped up on us and the true lines that were here to save the children, they were using it to trap them. And it was happening because of whatever energy was in that sisterine with me. And just, So Fernando and I packed up and we went to Sturgis, and on my way to the Black Hills, the world blew up in my stomach. My sacral chakra blew up. Fernando was in the car. He was a Reiki master. It's why he was there. And I'm driving, and all of a sudden, my stomach starts moving like there's an alien inside of my stomach. My tooth had also been ripped open in my mouth whenever they did what they did to me in Joshua Tree. And they hadn't got me a dentist yet. And he had been there to save me from that because I almost died from brain infection from that. And then whenever we got to Sturgis, I went and did what I needed to do there, but everything was heading off with the Hells Angels. That's the only time that I ever didn't sleep in a hotel room and that I ever didn't have a place to stay was that night. And the only reason was because it was safer for us to sleep out in a field than to be around anybody and what we had to clean up right there. Although the whole world wants to say that I'm homeless. So that's what I wanted to share with y'all earlier when it kind of went away. And it's a great example of this energy here, number 16, and reliving, being able to channel those energetics and pull up the energy in order to turn on the pyramids, in order to reactivate these ancient gates that were laid here by our ancestors. It's why it all exists. But everything that the world is currently dealing with right now is because of them trying to alter it. Everything. So I love y'all. Don't forget, I'm going to close now. Don't forget, if you want to get the calendar and start tracking this with me, and do that on the website, cohu32.com. And just go to Digi Download and grab something, and we'll send you the calendar. Otherwise, I'll be back in a couple of days. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being the collective that y'all made sure that I stayed here. Y'all saved me because you commanded that the knowledge didn't leave. You all cleared your DNA and cleared your line so that you could get the truth and you could get the information. And they tried everything to take me out of here. Everything. And it's why I'm here teaching you what you can do, because you taught me by saving me. By keeping me here in this planet, on this energetic, in this realm, so that the truth has to come out. And I just want y'all to know how grateful I am, and this is why I do what I do for y'all. This is why I didn't give up on y'all. Please realize it would have been so much easier too. And now I think we're finally to the point where there's some of the groups that are finally starting to realize what we did and what we accomplished and why we turned on them to begin with, because they were on the wrong path. It wasn't that we didn't want to come with you. It was that we saw that your path had a wall and it ended up not where you wanted to be. But how would you know if you didn't walk the spell? So even all the ones that did spell work on us, we were all the human race. If you are human, we only just want true humanity. We want to stop being enslaved for our gifts. We want to stop having to hold them secret. We want to tell the world exactly what we are capable of doing and what they've been making us do so that we can teach people how to do what needs to be done down here safely and for the best of everybody. That's it. And thank you. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for even kicking my ass. But please, for the love of humanity, you got to put it down now. Put away the old character right now. Realize that the physics are not going to work. You can't control anybody. All you can do is control yourself. And all you need to do right now is stay true to yourself. And if you know that you owe somebody something and that you know it's one of us and it's an angelic and a celestial, then the only thing that's keeping you from your reverse inverse is an approach with a pure intention. And our doors are open, but they've never been closed. You just couldn't see them.